Hi guys, welcome to this YouTube channel, and in this video I'm going to talk about if you're trying to switch data science jobs, then how should you start. Let the video start. Actually, I will try to divide this video into multiple steps, so let's talk about the first step. So the first step is understand your roles. So what does this means, understand your roles? Some of you may be the data analyst, some of you may be the data scientist, AI ML engineer, data engineer, or different types of jobs you are maybe doing in the data science industry. It's not like we're trying to switch the jobs without understanding the roles. So why do we need to understand your roles? The main factor behind understanding the roles is to prepare yourself for the interview. So let's say if you understand your roles, let's say you are a data analyst, then accordingly you have to prepare SQL, Python, or other type of data analysis tools. Let's say you're a data scientist, then you may need to prepare statistics, machine learning, data science related thing, coding, Python, puzzles, guesstimate. And if you are a data engineer, or maybe if you are a ML engineer, then you have to prepare accordingly. So whatever your roles is, you have to be prepared for that. So you may be thinking that if you're trying to switch in the data science industry, then I should tell you the ways to get interview calls. Yes, I will tell you some ways to get the interview calls, but the important thing is if you get interview call and if you are not prepared, then obviously you are going to lose the chance of the interview. So how should you do that? So the first thing is that try to prepare your resume. So whenever you are trying to make the switch in the data science industry, ideally you have to prepare your resume. And obviously whatever the jobs that you have done as a part of your current job, you have to update those things in the resume. I'll try to make another video based on how should you make a resume for trying to switch the jobs. So what I see in the data science industry is that a lot of people who are doing the jobs are not able to make their resume such that it gets selected in any companies. So I will actually tell you some ways to get your resume clarified or make your clean and organized resume so that that resume gets selected in the data science jobs. But first let me tell you how should you prepare your resume. So let's say you have a nice good looking or good organized resume, then obviously try to first focus on the projects that you have done in your current company. So now let's just talk about how to revise your project. So actually I have seen people actually write projects in such a way that it does not convey a lot of information to the interviewer. So let me tell you example. I've seen people writing projects like I have fitted an NLP model, or I have performed data analysis, or I have fitted a particular algorithm on particular type of data. So don't write this type of things in the resume. You have to write point in such a way that it shows the impact of your work on the company. So let's say I have fitted a model. Let's say the model's accuracy is 75%. Then writing the accuracy in the resume does not show a lot of impact. Even if this is a college project, if this is a your hobby, or you have performed this project as part of your extracurricular activity without it's not a part of your company project, then you can mention this kind of thing. But if it's a part of your company project, then in that case you need to mention what was the impact of that model. So one major impact of the model can be that you have fitted this model and this model bring down some cost, or modified something, or improved some performance of some particular section of the project, or maybe you have gained some customer values, or maybe you have acquired some new customer from that. So these kind of things are the impact point that you need to write in the resume. And whenever you're trying to explain a project in the interview, just try to talk about the impact. So ideally these kind of things are not with us when we have done the college project. So like in the college, our ideal focus is only to get a good algorithm, or get a good accuracy, or give the best analysis. But what was the impact of your analysis or algorithm in the company is this is the difference between how you explain a course project and how you explain a company project. So these kind of things are very important, because ideally I don't see anyone explaining the impact of their project in the interview. So just try to focus on this point, and let's talk about the next point, which is try to revise the algorithms and techniques that you have used in the project. So what do I mean by the techniques and algorithms? So let's say in a particular model you have used some algorithm that has some accuracy and that has impacted something in your company project. Then try to revise the basic mechanism of the algorithm. How does that particular algorithm works, or how did you implement that particular algorithm in your code, and how did you perform the particular type of analysis using your data. So these kind of things are have real values, because the real data that you get in the real time inside the company, that is not raw data, that is actually a very good data, or you can say that that is very unstructured or unedited data that you have to work with. So ideally when you work on a company project, the data set is actually very much large, or either it can be in very raw form. So how did you bring that raw form of data to fit a good model from that data and get a good insight? So try to write points about these things during preparations, and when you explain a company project, just talk about these things. What was the challenge you faced from that particular type of data, or how did you handle this big data, or how did you perform the analysis on that such a large amount of data, and how did you perform the ML algorithms, or how did you implemented some ML algorithms from those kind of data, and how did you make inference or made predictions on those kind of data. So these kind of things will help you noticed in the get noticed in the interview, because interviewer wants to know that what was your experience on the real world data set. So that is why it is important to just focus on the real world implementation of the project, especially the tools, techniques, and the methods that you used and the challenges that you faced. So try to write these points. And if you have used some new tools, let's say if you've used AWS, or maybe if you use some cloud technology to train your model and to make inference or to manage the different type of predictions, so you have to mention those things also, because those things will help you get noticed in the company, because they will know that you have certain kind of capabilities that you have developed apart from your academics. Because when we come from the college, ideally we don't have knowledge about any cloud technology, or in college we are not training model on the AWS server or some other type of server, because ideally we have local machine, and or we may be working on some small data set, or maybe we are working on some college server. So these kind of things will help you get noticed, and just try to drag these points in the interview. Now you may be asking that, okay, I have prepared well for the interview, now how do I get the interview call? So let me tell you how do you get the interview call. So to get the interview call, the first thing that you need to do is to apply to more and more jobs. So like in the beginning I told you, and try to understand your roles. So like if you're trying to switch the jobs in the data analyst, you have to apply to the data analyst jobs only. If you're trying to switch the jobs in the data scientist, you have to apply the roles for the data scientist only. So how do you do that? So there are 3-4 platforms from where you can apply for the jobs. The first one is LinkedIn. You can apply for the jobs through the LinkedIn. So you can go to the job section on the LinkedIn, and you will find job posted by different companies. Next thing is to apply through the company website. So ideally, let's say you want to switch to Amazon or Apple or Microsoft or some other company like Flipkart or Uber or Ola. So you can go to the company's career page, and you can try to find what kind of roles are open in that particular company. So there are two ways to apply right now, through the LinkedIn and through the company portals. Now one major thing is that if you're applying through the LinkedIn, try to apply to those jobs which are recently posted. So you may find jobs which are posted 1 month or 2 months ago, or maybe 5 weeks ago. So don't you can apply to those jobs obviously, but it may happen that those roles have been filled, because company hired on the immediate basis. It's not like they have posted a jobs for 1 month or 2 months and they are taking the interview till now. Maybe they had finished interview in the 1 week or 2 week, and then they are waiting for the candidate to join. So ideally apply to those roles which are still hiring or actively recruiting, or which are recently posted, because those jobs are only where you can get the interview call. Those are the potential jobs from where you can get the interview calls. Apart from this, you have the option for the referral. You can go to your college seniors or some LinkedIn connections, or maybe your friends, and ask them to refer to their team, specifically team. And if not, if there is no any positions open in their team, they may refer it to their company also. So ideally it happened that people ask them to refer to their company. So first of all, there are two kind of referral. The one is the team referral. So let's say my team is hiring and I refer you for a particular role, then there is some impact of my referral, because my team personally knows me, and they knows that if I refer someone, then they should pay attention to that particular candidate because I have referred. And now the second kind of referral is the company referral, where I will take your resume and I will post that resume in the company job portal, and if your resume gets selected, you will get the interview call. So these kind of referrals are there. So ideally, if you are asking someone for the referral, try to ask if there is some opening in their team, because these kind of referrals work very fast, and also these kind of referrals are those where you get the interview calls easily. That's why it's important to get the team referral. Company referral is also good. You also get call if someone refer you in their company, but ideally the in the team you get a fairly good chance to get the interview calls. Okay, apart from these things, you can also go to the other job portals like Naukri.com or some other online job portals. You may be asking that on the Naukri.com you may have seen job offer of 3 to 4 lakhs, 4 to 5 lakhs. But trust me, if you are not seeking jobs from the Naukri.com, then also make your profile the Naukri.com, because some recruiters may notice your profile and they will call you individually from their company. So it ideally happens that HR from the different company do head hunting, so they ideally find potential candidate through LinkedIn or some other job portals, and if they see your profile, then they will definitely call you, and their offers are really good. It's not like they're offering you 3 to 4 lakhs jobs or 4 to 5 lakhs per annum jobs. Those jobs are different and those are very genuine jobs. Other kind of sites are like there is IM jobs, sign.com, and there are different other portals where you can make your profile and update your profile with your updated resume. You will definitely get some calls from some companies HR or some other person who are seeking to hire you as their part of their employee. Now you may ask, if I want to switch a data science job in industry, then what is the ideal time? So let's say if you are starting right now and you are also preparing and applying to the company, so in this case you may get a good offer within ranging from 1 to 3 months. Why I'm taking the time as 1 to 3 months? Because whenever you are applying to a new company, it happens that you are not prepared, or maybe it takes time to get some interview calls, and when you get an interview, maybe you are not well prepared and you may not get selected. But ideally within 1 to 3 months, if you are studying regularly, preparing regularly and applying regularly, then ideally you get few calls for the interview where you can easily get some interviews, and after interview you can get selected. But this is not an ideal time because it also depends upon the market. Like right now the job market is not so good. A lot of firing has been done, a lot of companies are also not hiring, so in that case you may get a bit little late to get hired. The next thing is, don't try to put yourself on some time. Try to read regularly, study regularly, apply to the companies through these job portals, and you will definitely get the calls. Apart from that, if you are very new, you have not started to study also, and then you are applying, then in the case where you get an interview and if you're not prepared, you can get rejected. That is why it is important to first start preparing, and then after 15 to 20 days of preparation, start applying. But ideally what I do is that I first start applying, then I try to study, and then accordingly I do the my preparation. So I keep studying, keep applying regularly, and whenever I get some interview calls, definitely I give the interview, and I take the whatever the response as the feedback for my current preparations. Let me tell you some mindset from which you should prepare for the job. So the first mindset is, like ideally when someone switches the jobs, they think that they are going to get an offer after applying to 15 to 20 jobs. So ideally this is not the case. Right now a lot of the job that are being posted on the online websites are not so much genuine. A lot of startups or some small companies are just posting the jobs for the sake of their publicity. That is why just keep applying whatever the roles you find suitable, just keep applying. And the most important thing is that just don't stop, and don't think that you are going to get selected after applying to 3 to 4 companies or maybe 10 companies. Like last time I switched the jobs, I applied to more than 200 companies. So like people ask me, how did you why did you apply to the 200 companies? You may have apply to the 15 companies, and then you may get an interview because you are from some premier college. So like whenever trying to switch the job, just think of you as an novice candidate. It's not like that if you are from the very good college you are going to get a good interview. Sometimes whenever you apply to a job profile, your profile may not be a match for the particular company, your work experience may not be the match for the particular company, your skill set may not be the match for the particular company. That is why just keep applying. Whenever there is a perfect match and the people inside the company find out, they will definitely going to call you. So just keep applying. Don't give yourself a timeline, don't give yourself a number that you are going to apply to those particular number of jobs and then you are going to just sit and relax because you are not getting any interview. So just are going to get demotivated. Just don't give yourself a number, just don't give yourself any timeline. Just whatever you need to do, just start preparing, apply to the jobs. If you are getting any interview, just give the interview and keep the preparations in the loop. So that's all for this video, and in this video I explained you how should you make a switch in data science job. Actually I have used the same strategy with my friends, and they switch the jobs easily, and I myself had adopted this technique for easy job switching, and whenever in future I'm going to switch jobs, I'm going to adopt the same technique. Let me tell you one more thing. If you are trying to switch the jobs and you are not getting any interview calls, then you may if you want to discuss these things one to one on with me, then you may connect with me on TopMate. Just check out the link in the description box, and then we will definitely schedule a time for you and I will connect with you. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and let me know your questions about switching jobs in the data science industry and AI ML. Thanks for watching.